Hey guys, my name is Justin and welcome to Hillsborough, where we care about the design. Behind the design, luxury. That's not actually what I say every time, but I just felt like saying it weird. And if you do too, make sure to subscribe. Okay, so for today's video, we have the return of the Battle Royale. I love these videos. I think they're so much fun to do. And as you can tell from my outfit, the theme, as Beyonce famously said, is denim on denim. We're looking at denim bags. So if you are unfamiliar with what a Battle Royale is, basically it's 8 bags, 1v1, kind of like tournament style, until we end up with one winner. Of course, I look at the design and the form and the shape, but I also look at, you know, utility. Does it look like it's going to be useful as well, or do you not want it to be useful? You know, I look at all these different points, and not from the point of oh, is this the right bag for me, but what are the interesting parts of this bag and what does it mean for anyone else? All right, so the bags that we have today are the Diesel Re-Edition Travel 3000 Shoulder Bag X. All right. The Marc Jacobs, the Deconstructed Denim Sack Bag, the Dior Saddle Rodeo Pouch, the Bottega Veneta Kalimero Bucket, the ERL Blue Levi's Edition Denim Bag, the Givenchy Medium Voyou, the Givenchy Medium Voyou Boyfriend Bag in jeans, the Marine Serre Regenerated Deadstock Denim Eclips Crossbody Bag, and then the Mugler Blue Denim Zenith Bag. Alright, let's get started. Let's dive in. I'm ready.
Round 1, Match 1.
Diesel Re-Edition Travel 3000 versus Marc Jacobs, the Deconstructed Denim Sack Bag.
Fight.
I had to include Diesel on this list. Diesel is so well known for its denim. The current creative director is Glenn Martins, who is a savant with denim. I didn't include Y Project on this list because they didn't have any of their denim wire bags or anything like that easily accessible. So I was like, just put off to the side and we'll see if they get included in something else later. But for this bag, the Re-Edition Travel 3000 Shoulder Bag X, which is, first off, ridiculous name, love that already. I do love the idea of a shoulder / crossbody kind of bag being very ugly, and it looks like there's a bajillion pockets on it. I don't know if that's just puffy or if that actually are pockets. Incredibly ugly bag. It's this acid washed light denim with this very old looking strap, very aged kind of silver gray hardware. Very Y2K, but makes a lot of sense with the current creative direction that Glenn Martins has been doing for this brand. To me, this looks like next level fanny pack. That's just the shape plus the little pockets on the front, and then there being a zipper above that. It feels very nasty utilitarian. It almost feels like Mad Max if it's Slade. And then the Deconstructed Denim Sack Bag from Marc Jacobs. It feels very Y2K. It's all this patchwork. You even have details that make it look like there were actual parts of denim denim jeans. Are all jeans denim? Is all denim jeans? But this one again then is just a shoulder bag. It does have an internal zip pocket, which is nice. But for me, this kind of hobo kind of shaped bag with an attached pouch. Okay, it has an attached pouch that also looks like it's made out of pants, which I think is hilarious. So it's a 2-for-1, so that's actually pretty interesting. I think honestly, when you look at both of them, they both feel very Y2K. They're both that kind of ugly aesthetic that was huge in the 2000s. But in terms of oh my god, this is hard. But in terms of just gut feeling, I honestly think there's a lot more going on with the Marc Jacobs bag. I love that it has this patchwork. It has that humor of it being built with the pants detail, and then you get an extra free little pouch. Yeah, it's not super utilitarian in terms of it's just a shoulder bag, or you can do hand carry or whatever, but there's something about this bag that's scratching a little part of my brain that feels really good. So let's go with that one.
Winner,
Marc Jacobs, the Deconstructed Denim Sack Bag.
Round 1, Match 2.
Dior Saddle Rodeo Pouch versus Bottega Veneta Kalimero Bucket.
Fight.
Okay, up next I actually have kind of the two craftsman-y ones. We all know that the embroidery work that Dior does is incredibly beautiful. And this bag is not any exception. So this saddlebag has raffia, actually, differently dyed pieces of raffia embroidered on a saddle pouch. So a bag that literally is like, it's a pocket with string that you just wear on your shoulder. There's not much to it. It is what it is. But the amount of like, I'm zooming in to like this picture of like all of the details of all the different flowers, how it has this kind of like crisscross and you get these almost like little portraits of flowers being repeated across the front of this bag, front and back actually, is just so beautiful. For some reason, them doing it on a denim bag just made me so interested. Kind of like, why? What are we doing here? But I really do like it. And then to contrast, we have this Kalimero bucket that is like tie-dyed, and then they do that kind of signature for all the Kalimero bags where they scrunch the textile, the fabric, and then they weave it to give it that like very like thick, hardy kind of like structure without structure kind of look. And the fact that they had the foresight to be like, we are going to do this not just with regular denim, but this dyed denim, so that we have this contrast of white and this like almost cobalt blue. It almost looks like waves. It feels very like oceanic or something like that to me. So in terms of putting these two bags up against one another, I think it's a little bit unfair because I do just love the Kalimero aesthetic. But again, like the raffia being woven onto it was just so beautiful. That being said, if the raffia was done on like an actual saddle bag and not just a pouch, I think honestly it would have won. But because it's just a pouch and it's literally this big, the Kalimero just like, it feels like a lot more of like, you could even make it into a workhorse. You could make this one of your daily drivers, and it could work with a lot of people's aesthetics, especially if you have that kind of boho, kind of like relaxed California kind of feel. I am going to have to give it to the Kalimero.
Winner.
Bottega Veneta Kalimero buckle.
Round 1. Match 3.
ERL Levi's denim bag
Versus
Givenchy Voyou boyfriend bag.
Fight.
Okay, these two bags are like very similar in a certain way. I don't understand ERL in terms of like where to buy it. Let me know in the comments if like you're like down with it and you understand. I know ERL is more like akin to like a streetwear brand. Let me know if like they also do drops. I could only find this on Essence, so this is where I'm pulling it up from. But the ERL Blue Levi's Edition denim bag, it looks like it's just a freaking pair of like light wash jeans, and then instead of like the button for where the fly is, that's where like the lid, I don't know, the top of the the flap of the bag attaches. Have you ever like gone to a thrift store and you like see a bag that you can tell like was someone's DIY project, where they're like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna cut up the pants and then add a strap? This looks exactly like that. It's the whole idea of like, it feels very DIY, but the price also like kinda reflects it. I have to assume the quality of it is quite nice because it's a collaboration with Levi's. But the fact that there's even like little freaking belt loops on the back of it, so you can attach your charms there, like that's so funny to me. And then super high contrast, we have the Voyou. Honestly, I think there are some similarities to the ERL bag. It has a kind of like softness. It looks very like floppy and like very casual, even though it has that same kind of feel of like, oh yeah, it's a pair of jeans that got sewn into a bag shape. This one looks a lot more finished, and the fact that there's a lot of hardware besides like anything that you would resemble as like a button or a clasp or something like you would find on a pair of jeans, because it is a Givenchy bag that just so happens to have this kind of like jeans finish on it. I do love like how it has like the straps going around to what would be like the crotch of the jeans, because something about that feels very like BDSM, very like almost like kinky, but in like a very subtle, soft way, which I think is probably meant to be implied in the original bag as well. But this way, I don't know, there's a certain like kinkiness, like sensuality to denim that I think, at least like in like the queer community, has like developed. This is crazy that I'm comparing like a $200 bag against like a $3,000 bag. And for me, like, obviously this is not necessarily the same customer, but in terms of like who's executing this vision better, they got cleaned out. Like it's gonna be the Givenchy bag, just because it looks so much more finished, and there's a little bit more humor in having the jeans feel a little bit more finished with the pockets, also having the belt loops on the back and the front, and then having the fly that you can wear open because you're a slut like me.
Winner.
Givenchy Voyou boyfriend bag.
Round 1, match 4.
Marine Serre Eclips Crossbody
Versus
Mugler Blue Denim Zenith bag.
Fight.
Okay, and then last up, these two bags are actually from brands that I would say are decently well known for how they use their denim. So if you actually watch I'll link it up in the corner, but my best bags under 1,000, the one I just did, I actually talked about this bag, and it kind of inspired this video because I was just impressed by the hardware that they were able to get on a bag under $1,000. It's not my favorite shape necessarily, but I do think it is a very cute shape because you have like the repeated crescents in the print and the hardware in the bag. And then of course on the other side of that we have Mugler. This is another shoulder bag. I think it's less adjustable than the other one, however, but I do find this bag so interesting because like from the front it looks like it's just like a curved rectangular bag, but then you look at the back side of it and you can see that it has this curve built in so that it fits comfortably across your body. I know a lot of people aren't necessarily a fan of Casey Cadwaller's Mugler, but this like slight detail of like adding that curve to like respect like the body as you're using an object, I think is kind of right on the mark. If you are doing denim, there's two ways you could do it. One is to like have it kind of represent all the parts of your brand, or kind of like subvert that expectation. Marine Serre uses denim in a way that's very like emblematic of the way that that brand uses denim. And then Casey Cadwaller uses denim in a way that I think is surprising and kind of off-putting for some people. This makes this decision very hard. Again, I'm just gonna go with my gut. I know it was inspired by the Marine Serre bag, but I'm just gonna go with a Casey Cadwaller. I'm gonna go with the Mugler bag because there's just something about it that's like itching a spot. And we'll see if I end up being right or not.
Winner.
Mugler Blue Denim Zenith bag. Okay, so that is the first round done. We're going into the semifinals. We're going into the semifinals now.
Semi-final, match 1.
Marc Jacobs, the Deconstructed Denim Sack
Versus
Bottega Veneta Kalimero Buckle.
Fight.
So this is kind of an unfair comparison. Once again, I am a huge fan of Bottega, even though I don't have any pieces from there, just because it's like just out of my like price range. And by just, I mean like a few thousand. The tough thing here is that one bag is like aloof and like kind of self-aware, and that's the Marc Jacobs bag. But then the Kalimero bag, its faults are almost like the opposite of the Marc Jacobs bag, where I would consider this a very serious shape. The craftsmanship, the artistry that goes into it, and then them using that tie-dye I think is brilliant. I don't know necessarily if it's brilliant in the way they want it to be. I know they can do humor well. They have that paper bag tote, the newspaper tote, but for me there's just something about the Kalimero in the tie-dye that just kind of misses the mark slightly. I do think it's a better bag shape than the Marc Jacobs Deconstructed sack bag, but that funniness, that pocket, and the fact that you get that extra little chunky little pouch, I think that wins it for me. It just like, that one, it's not my brain that it scratches my heart.
Winner.
Marc Jacobs, the Deconstructed Denim Sack Bag.
Semi-final, match 2.
Givenchy Voyou boyfriend bag.
Versus
Mugler Blue Denim Zenith bag.
Fight.
Okay, first off, this Zenith bag is hitting the marks in terms of like luxury, designer, affordability. I really do appreciate that. I know I said I appreciated what the Givenchy bag did, but I think what we're seeing here again is the same thing that happened with Bottega and Marc Jacobs. The Mugler Zenith bag is subversive in terms of expectations. Also because we've seen the way that the Mugler bags have been. They're very curvaceous, they feel very like organic, and then this one is very sharp. It's rigid but still has its curves. Meanwhile, the Givenchy bag, it is a casual bag, but the way it's finished, it's very clean. And there's something about that that's actually off-putting for me. You almost want to see something distressed. You want to see like something unusual about it. That's one of the beautiful things about denim, right? It wears down. When it wears down, you have these anomalies, you have these like unique characteristics of the fabric, of the material, and that's what makes it yours. That's what makes it exciting. It almost feels like sterile, that bag. I can see what they're going for, but it kind of feels like it misses the mark. But then you have the Zenith bag. It's meant to be rigid. It's meant to be seen as this kind of sharp thing. But then when you get down to it, and when you wear that bag, you feel it against you. You feel the curve. It's not as sharp as you maybe think it is. And that's something about that that's very attractive to me. Again, I'm not a shoulder bag type of person, but I think I am gonna give this one to the Mugler Zenith.
Winner.
Mugler, blue denim Zenith bag. All right, that was the semifinals. That means we're down to the finals. I'm stressed. I'm sweating, by the way. The denim on denim on denim. I don't know where Beyonce was when she wrote that lyric, or if she was even wearing denim on denim on denim, because this is how, you know what, she probably meant denim like shirt, pants, and then like something else, so maybe I misunderstood.
Final.
Marc Jacobs, the Deconstructed Denim Sack versus Mugler, blue denim Zenith bag.
Fight.
I love that these bags are so different. I think they're also kind of opposites of one another, right? We have this hobo-shaped bag that has this patchwork denim with that kind of like bit of humor that Marc Jacobs does just so well in terms of like having like a bit of pants on the jean. I think it's also nice that it's different than how ERL and Givenchy did theirs, in that because it's done sideways, it doesn't feel like it's meant to actually be like, hey, these are jeans. It's just like a funny little detail. It feels a little bit more like tongue-in-cheek. And then we have the Zenith bag, which is this very like sensual shape despite being very like structured. The contrast of that like sharp shape and the denim is so attractive to me. You know, the whole trend right now is like wider legged, or at least like straight leg jeans that are, they fall a little bit. You get a little bit of shape out of them. And then you have this bag, which is just like, this is what it is. Like, hello, it's a structure. Like, it wants to like punch you in the face. And I think that's the thing that's so interesting about that bag. Honestly, neither of these bags are for me. But in terms of like what we're talking about now is like a denim bag doing as a denim bag should. When we're talking about denim, you know, it's a very historical material. Indigos, these really rich blues, eventually wearing down and becoming these very pale, like sky blues. Having that kind of contrast and understanding of like, this is where it started and this is where it is now. Having something that can show that range in a way that maybe isn't everyone's taste, but is done in a way that like, it feels almost like respectful to the material. And maybe this is just me as like a huge fan of denim. I mean, half of my wardrobe is like denim jackets and denim shirts because I just love it so much. I have to say, Casey Cadwaller, everything you do, I am a huge fan of, but Marc Jacobs just hits the nail on the head in terms of what a denim bag should look like. And because of that, I have to give it to the Marc Jacobs Deconstructed Denim
Champion.
Marc Jacobs, the Deconstructed Denim Sack bag. Alright, so that was the first time I've ever had a Marc Jacobs bag win. That is not the one I thought would win. Honestly, I had no idea who would win because like none of these bags were like necessarily my favorite. I did like the Bottega one going into it, but then like if we're talking about a denim bag, let denim be denim. And of course that's not to say like if you like any of the other ones or if you just hate denim bags, I don't know why you watch this, but like if you like any of the other ones, these are all great picks. So that is my winner. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you think I'm a fool. Or let me know if you think there's a denim bag that I missed out on and that I should have included that you thought maybe would have won. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. So if you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. It lets me know that you like this kind of content and that you too care about the design behind design and luxury. Until next time. Ha 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 ha.